We'll continue from where we stopped the discussion last week. So last week we saw that how Mother Parvati, considering that Chitraketu Maharaj for no reason trying to correct Lord Shiva, who is the Supreme Lord in one sense, whom all the great devotees considered as authority on bhakti and other aspects of Vidya. So then Mother Parvati, having said few things, and then she says, "My dear son, don't do this again. May you better become a asura." Then Chitraketu Maharaj descended from the chariot, or the airplane, we can say, the air, which is flying in the sky. And then he came and bowed down himself in front of Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva, offered obeisances, and then he began to speak some words to Mother Parvati. And wherein he said that, "My dear mother, with folded hands I accept the curse you have uttered. It is ordained by the Devatas as a result of my past deeds. My dear mother, whatever curse you pronounced, I accept it as it is. I consider it as the result of my past karmas. There is no mistake of yours in this." So he actually says, "So my dear mother, whatever you did, it is as per my karma. It is destined to be come to me. So you are not at fault in that. Samsara chakra etasmin jantur ajnana mohita. Pramayan sukam cha dukkam cha bhungte sarvatra sarvada." There he said that, deluded by ignorance, the living entity wanders in this wheel of samsara, enjoying happiness and distress everywhere and at all times. So whatever we get, it is all because of our karmas. And this is called as samsara. As long as we are in the material world, we are supposed to go through samsara. So in that samsara, there is something pleasant, something unpleasant. So we need to accept. Naivatmana paraschapi karta syat sukha dukkayo. Kartaram manyate trajna atmanam paramevacha. Here he says that in this material world, neither the living entity nor others are the cause of material happiness and distress. So whatever happiness and distress that we are going through, it is not caused by any other living entity or not caused by ourselves. Neither ourselves are the cause of what we are getting, nor the people in front of us are the cause of what we are getting. Then who is the cause? But because of ignorance, the living entity thinks that he and others are the cause. Only in ignorance only we think that I am the cause of what I am going through, and people in front of us are the cause of what I am going through. Like that we think. Then the question is, who is the cause? I mean, if you are not the cause, and if the people around you are not the cause, then who is the cause of what you are going through? Then he says, "Puna pravaha etasmin ka shapa konu anugraha ka swargo naraka kova kim sukam dukkhameva." In the river of the gunas, what is the curse and what is the blessing? What is swarga and what is hell? And what is happiness and what is sorrow? Since we are in samsara, and samsara, it has its own way of moving ahead. So in that samsara, sometimes things may be pleasant, sometimes things may not be pleasant. So because we have entered into samsara, whatever samsara offers to us, we need to accept it. We cannot question. The reason is, it has been said that one should accept happiness and distress. Everything that falls into a salt mine becomes salty. Thus, everything that falls into samsara becomes samsara. It is we have chosen to come to samsara. So having come to samsara, we need to follow the flow of samsara. We cannot expect something opposite to the flow of samsara. So it is the nature of samsara that one wave comes up and it goes out down. Again, new wave comes up and it goes down. So we need to accept it. We cannot say why these waves are coming and going. So that is the nature of samsara. One should not make distinctions of happiness and suffering at all. As long as a person who has fallen into a bottomless river does not reach the shore, he cannot attain real happiness. Unless until we come out of samsara, we cannot get real happiness. Whatever so-called happiness we are getting in the samsara, it is not at all happiness. It is just a creation of samsara itself. Similarly, the curses, blessings are all suffering as long as we are in the material world. Anything good or bad that we get while we are in the material world is all bad only. Because we are in the material world, first of all. The material world is compared to like a salty mine. So when you enter into salty mine, everything will be salty only. You cannot say that this is good salt, that is bad salt. Salt is salt. Same way the samsara, you cannot say something is good, something is bad. Everything is samsara only. So that we need to accept. So from his point of view is that since I am in samsara, whether you may say it is blessing or curse, it's all part of samsara only. The blessing is not a real blessing, curse is not a real curse. It's all like the waves of the ocean come and go, come and go. So this is where we stop. So then we'll continue from text number 21 onwards. So there he further continues. Few more arguments he makes all the way up to 24 and then he surrenders. You don't have to, though you are cursed without any fault of mine, but you don't have to nullify that curse. Let it be. I'm happy with that. So saying that he will go back. So that is what is indicated here. So now he further states, Chitraketu Maharaj is further stating, Ekasrujati Bhutani
एकसृजति भूतानि
Bhagavan Atma Mayaya
भगवान् आत्ममायया
Esham Bandham Cha Moksham Cha
येषां बन्धं च मोक्षं च
Sukam Dukkam Cha Niskala.
सुखं दुःखं च निष्कला. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, unaffected by the conditions of the material world. He creates all the conditioned soul by his own personal potence. Because of being contaminated by the material energy, the living entity is put into ignorance and thus into different conditions of bondage. Sometimes, by knowledge, the living entity is given liberation. In Sattvaguna and Rajoguna, he is subjected to happiness and distress.
Yeah. The one Lord, unaffected by Maya, creates the living entities, creates their bondage, creates their liberation, creates their happiness, and creates their distress. Not personally, but through the via medium of Mahamaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated beyond the influence of three modes of material nature, with the help of the three modes of material nature, creates all of our bodies and creates our bondage, our liberation, our happiness, and our distress. Everything that we go through in this material world are all creations of Lord's Maya. So like that. Who throws a person into the river of gunas and who delivers him? The question. In the previous verse, he said that everything that is happening to us is like the waves in the river of the three modes of material nature. Then who has thrown us into the river of three modes of material nature? The Supreme. By Lord's Maya, by Rajoguna, the Lord creates. By Satoguna, he maintains. By Tamoguna, the Lord destroys. It is with the help of the three gunas, the Lord has created this universe, maintaining this universe, and one day will destroy this universe. By Avidya, the Supreme Lord creates bondage, and by Vidya, he gives liberation. So previously we discussed many times in the second, third cantos. Avidya means the five coverings of Avidya. Moha, Mahamoha, Tamishra, Andatamishra, Tamas. Tamas, Moha, Mahamoha, Tamisha, and Tamishra. Are Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. These are five coverings because of which we are born in this material world. That is called Avidya. And Vidya means Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, Tapasya, and Vairagya. These are six angas of Vidya. With the help of them, one attains liberation. By Sattva, the Lord creates happiness, and by Tamaguna, the Lord creates suffering. But the Lord himself is devoid of Maya. So basically, here the point is how, with the help of the three gunas, Lord is creating, maintaining, and destroying the universe, as well as the Lord is creating our bondage and creating our suffering and creating our liberation. Everything with the help of the same three gunas. So everything that is happening to us in this material world is all an act of three modes of material nature. Like we study in Bhagavad Gita. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma karata aham innimannati. So in reality, everything that is happening in this world is all happening because of the influence of three modes of material nature. The Jiva and the Supreme Lord who is in this material world, they are simply witness for everything that is happening in this material world. So like that. So here the understanding is, so my dear Parvati Devi, so whatever is happening to me, sometime I was the king and sometime I was the king of Vidyadharas, now I am going to become Asura. These are all like the different waves of samsara. I am simply a witness to all these different waves. Some wave is coming and going, coming and new and coming and going, and next new one will come and go. I am simply a witness. So he was not at all affected by those coming and going of the waves. Previously, when he did not have a son, he was thinking that as if he is not existing only. His life has no meaning, no purpose. But now, even though big curses are coming, he is not at all disturbed. So this is the transformation took place in Chitraketu Maharaj by hearing what Lord Sankarsana told to him. That knowledge. So like that. He will further speak three more verses. Natasya kache daita pratipo.
तस्य कश्चित् दयिता प्रतीपो
न ज्ञाति बन्धुर्न परो न च स्वा.
न ज्ञाति बन्धुर्न परो न च स्वा
समस्य सर्वत्र निरञ्जनस्य
समस्य सर्वत्र निरञ्जनस्य
सुखेन रागाकुत एव रोषः.
सुखेन रागाकुत एव रोषः. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is equally disposed towards all living entities. Therefore, no one is very dear to him, and no one is a great enemy for him. No one is his friend, and no one is his relative. Being unattached to the material world, he has no affection for so-called happiness or hatred for so-called distress. The two terms, happiness and distress, are relative. Since the Lord is always happy, for him there is no question of distress.
So here he is saying that the Lord, uncontaminated by Maya, equal in all circumstances, has no favored person and no enemy, no relative by marriage and no relative by parental relationship. No person he considers as other than himself, and no person he considers his own. Not being attached to happiness, what is the question of his showing anger? He says that somebody may say that no, it is Lord only giving everything. The Lord only putting me in bondage, Lord only giving me trouble, and all people say, always people say that why Lord is not happy seeing me happy for some time. Like Chitraketu's wife Krutaduti said, so but not. Lord is neutral to everyone, neutral to everything. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosya napriyaha. That is the nature of the Supreme Lord. So he does not interfere in one personal life. The Lord, somebody might question that. Then the Lord favors some jivas and hates other jivas because he binds some and liberates others and hence gives them happiness. Somebody may question like that. So it is not so. Lord has nothing to do with individually. He does not have favorites or enemies because he regards all equally at all times because he is not affected by Maya, Niranjanasya. Only those people who are affected by Maya, they say that. So these are my friends, these are enemies. And those people who are not affected by Maya, they will never ever say that these are my friends and these are my enemies. So this is the point that is happening between Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad, Chanda and Amarka and Prahlad. Hiranyakashipu and Chanda and Amarka are saying that Vishnu is our enemy and other Rakshasas are our friends. And Prahlad is saying that no one is friend and no one is enemy. So that is the Prahlad mentality, because Prahlad is Niranjana, he is not at all touched by Maya. The Supreme Lord has no attachment to material happiness. What then to speak of hatred for anything opposite material happiness? So Lord is not at all attached to material happiness. Then what to speak of being attached to material unhappiness or hatred or anger, etc. It is said, Indriyasyendriyasyarthe ragadvesho vyavastitau tayornavasham agacche tauhiyasya paripantino. So in which it is said that attachment and repulsion, raga and dvesha, are firmly fixed in each of the sense object. When we look at one sense object, we will generate some feeling, either attraction or repulsion, raga or dvesha. Because based on our previous experience with the sense object, our emotions are produced. Therefore, one should not come under the control of attachment or repulsion. They are the two obstacles. The both are there. Both of them are big obstacles for one's spiritual progress. So one should never come under the control of attachment or repulsion. Each and every sense object will drive us either with attachment or with repulsion. So one should be careful. Thus, the Supreme Lord does not have favorites or enemies caused by attachment and repulsion. So attachment and repulsion are only to those people who are controlled by Maya. Since Lord is not controlled by Maya, he does not show attraction or repulsion with respect to any living entity. That's how he remains indifferent to all that is happening. The Paramatma is in Yoga Nidra. He is simply acting as a witness. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrut. Something like that. But if the Lord is equal, why does he make one person happy and cause grief to others? So then there should be same for everyone. If Lord is equal, if Lord is the creator of this world and creator of all the living entities, then everyone should be having same experience. Why some people are experiencing happiness, why some people at the same time others are experiencing unhappiness? Why there is disparity among the people? So like that one question may come. So in the next verse, Chitraketu Maharaj is trying to answer this question. तथापि तच्छक्तिविसर्ग येषाम्
तथापि तस्य विसर्ग येषाम्
सुखाय दुःखाय हि हिताय
सुखाय दुःखाय
बन्धाय मोक्षाय च मृत्युजन्मनो
बन्धाय मोक्षाय च मृत्युजन्मनो
शरीरिणां संसृतयेव कल्पते
शरीरिणां संसृताय avakalpate. Although the Supreme Lord is unattached to our happiness and distress according to karma, and although no one is his enemy or favorite, he creates pious and impious activities through the agency of his materiality. Thus, for the continuation of the materialistic way of life, he creates happiness and distress, good fortune and bad, bondage and liberation, birth and death.
The transformations of his Maya Shakti creates happiness, distress, good fortune and bad fortune, bondage, liberation and the repetition of birth and death of the living entities. All these things that are happening in our life or around us are not because of Lord. They are all because of Lord's Maya Shakti. It is by the transformation of the remote material nature, everything is happening. Even though he is equal in all circumstances, by the transformations of his Maya Shakti, the sequence of beginningless karmas arising from piety and sin creates happiness and distress. Our piety creates our happiness, our sin creates our distress. So the meaning is this one. Even though the Lord's Maya Shakti creates happiness and distress, since the Maya Shakti belongs to him, and in that sense, he shows inequality. So that means, so people say that, अभी आप बोल रहे हैं Lord का Maya Shakti because it is Lord's. So everything is belong to Lord only. Whatever is happening, whatever is being done by Maya Shakti, since Maya Shakti belongs to Lord, we should say that it is my Lord's activities. So just like in the third canto, when Jaya and Vijaya stopped four Kumaras, so four Kumaras cursed them. Then Lord Vishnu immediately came and he said that whatever small inappropriate action is done by the servant, it is the act of the master. It is the mistake of the master. The master is held responsible for the mistake of the servant. So from that point of view, whatever is being done Maya Shakti, it is attributed to Supreme Lord. Some say like this, because the Maya Shakti belongs to Lord. But the Lord does not create happiness and distress, since Maya is not Lord's Swarupa Shakti. Though Maya belongs to the Lord, but Maya is not Lord's Swarupa Shakti. Generally, whatever is being done by Lord Swarupa Shakti is considered to be the activity of the Supreme Lord. And whatever activity is being done by Maya Shakti, it is not considered Lord's activity. Because Maya Shakti is not Swarupa Shakti as the Supreme Lord, it is a Bairanga Shakti. Thus, the Lord is actually equal to all. Since Maya Shakti is not Lord Swarup Shakti, whatever is being done by the Maya Shakti, we cannot attribute it to the Supreme Lord. Thus, Lord's equal nature towards everyone is not at all disturbed. So, that is understanding. Similarly, the universe of Maya is a form of the Supreme Lord. But because it does not arise from Lord Swarupa Shakti, it is different from him. Sometimes people also say this universe is the Lord himself. No, it is not Lord. Because it is not produced by Lord's Swarupa Shakti. The spiritual world is produced by Lord Swarupa Shakti. Spiritual world can be compared with the Supreme Lord. When the material world is produced by Lord's Maya Shakti, it should be considered separate from the Supreme Lord. Though the sun appears to be unequal because he gives sorrow to the owl and the night lotus by its rays. During the daytime, the owl and the night lotuses are not at all happy with the sunlight. They become very unhappy under daytime. But the same daytime gives happiness to Chakravaka bird and the daytime day lotus. Thus, no one says sun is partial. It's happening by the way. Sun is simply there in the sky, and because of sun's presence, some people might be happy, some people might not be happy. You cannot blame sun for that. So one being happy or not being happy during the sunlight, it is one's own problem. Sun is not held responsible for that. Similarly, our being happy and our being unhappy in this material world, we cannot tell Lord is the cause of my happiness, Lord is the cause of my unhappiness. And Chitraketu Maharaj says, even I myself is not cause of my happiness and my unhappiness. Who is the cause? The three modes of material nature only the cause of one's happiness and misery. The reason is the happiness and misery are happening to the gross body or subtle body. And the gross body and subtle body are belonging to Prakriti. They are byproducts of Prakriti. So every emotion that we go through in this material world are all belonging to either our subtle body or gross body, and hence everything is happening only within the three modes of material nature. It is not in the soul. The soul remains a witness to all that is happening in the gross body and subtle body. That is the understanding that Sriketu Maharaj is projecting here. So like that. And this is the last verse wherein he says that, my dear mother, you don't have to change. Even though for no mistake of mine you cursed me, but you don't change. It's okay, let it be there. Ata prasadaye. Mataji, we will take your question after this verse, Mataji. We will see this verse and then for the entire section we will take question. Ata prasadayena tvam
अथ प्रसादयेन त्वां
शापमोक्षाय भामिनी
शापमोक्षाय भामिनि
यन्मन्यसे हि असादुक्तम्
यन्मन्यसे यसादुक्तं
मम तत् क्षमयतां सति.
मम तत् क्षमयतां सति. O mother, you are now unnecessarily angry. But since all my happiness and distress are destined by my past activity, I do not plead to be excused or relieved from your curse. Although what I have said is not wrong, please let whatever you think is wrong be pardoned.
Yeah. O angry one, I do not please you to get free from the curse. O chaste lady, please forgive me for what you consider to be unkind words. Therefore, I do not please you just to get free from the curse. O angry woman, you have become angry without considering properly. Then why do you please me? Mother Parvati might say, what you consider improper words, let them be improper. But please forgive me for that. During the curse and after the curse, I have no distress or happiness. Therefore, being satisfied, do not withdraw the curse. So, my dear Madam Mother Parvati, so I am not pleasing you with my pleasing words to appease you so that you will remove my curse. Not like that. Let the curse be there. I am just explaining the understanding of the subject matter so that though you have felt bad for my asaduktam, so please forgive me for that. Not for the curse, but if at all you felt very sorry for my words, so please forgive me for that. So saying these few words, Chitraketu Maharaj boarding his airplane left from that place. So like that. So these are the few words spoken by Chitraketu Maharaj unto Mother Parvati. I finally said that I am not at all disturbed by the curse, because these are all happening by the will of the by my karmas or by the natural course of action of material nature. So no need to disturb by that. So in that way. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, in the previous verse, verse number 23, it says here in the translation in the book also that he creates pious and impious activities through the agency of his material potency. So material potency as in what we are referring to Maya, na? So that
Yeah,
the
three modes of material nature.
Okay, three modes of material nature, but they are also ultimately created by Maya only.
No, they are Maya. Three modes means Maya.
Oh, three mode means Maya. Three modes are not created by Maya.
No, three modes means Maya. Maya Devi is consisting of three modes of material nature.
Oh, all this while I have used to think that three modes have been created by Maya like that.
So Maya's another name is Guna Maya. Three Guna Maya. She is also called as Three Guni Maya. Maya is made up of three modes.
So Prabhuji, then she creates pious and impious activities means what? Like impious activities have also already been created by her. By Maya.
See, it is from the three modes only, the three modes of Maya only, the 24 elements are formed. From the same 24 elements, our body is formed. And with this body, we perform pious and impious activities. Just now we discussed one shloka. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti mannate. Only a person with false ahankara thinks that I am the doer. But in reality, every activity that we do is being performed by the body. Either a grass body or subtle body or the combination of both grass and subtle bodies, which are nothing but the 24 elements and which are produced from three modes of material nature. Then ultimately, who is doing the activity? The three modes are only doing the activity.
Okay, so that means the impious activities that will be in the mode of ignorance, and whatever is done that will be considered as impious.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, thank you so much.
Other devotees have any questions till now? Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So then we'll go ahead. Text number 25 onwards. Sri Shuka Uvacha
Srisuta Uvacha.
Iti Prasadya Girishau
Iti Prasadya Girisho.
Chitraketur Arindama
Chitraketur Arindama.
Jagama Swabhimanena
Jagama Swama Vimanena.
Pashyato Samayatostayo.
Pashyato Samayatostayo. Shri Sukadeva Goswami continued, O King Parishit, subduer of the enemy, after Chitraketu satisfied Lord Shiva and his wife Parvati, he boarded his airplane and left as they looked on. When Lord Shiva and Parvati saw that Chitraketu, although informed of the curse, was unafraid, they smiled, being fully astonished by his behavior.
Sukadeva Goswami is saying that, O subduer of the enemy, O King Parikshit, after King Chitraketu satisfied Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, he boarded his airplane and left as they looked on in astonishment. So as he was leaving, Mother Parvati, Lord Shiva, and all of the other assembly, they are looking at Chitraketu Maharaj. Wow, what kind of realization he has, like that. So then, Lord Shiva will speak to Mother Parvati. Tatastu Bhagavan Rudro
Tatastu Bhagavan Rudro
Rudranim Idam Abravit
Rudranim Idamabravit
Devarshi Daitya Siddhanam
Devarshi Daitya Siddhanam
Prasadanam Cha Shrunvatam.
Parshadanam Cha Shrunvatam. Thereafter, in the presence of the great sage Narada, the demons, the inhabitants of Siddhaloka, and his personal associates, Lord Shiva, who is most powerful, spoke to his wife Parvati while they all listened.
Yeah. Powerful Lord Shiva then spoke to Mother Parvati while Narada, the demons, the inhabitants of Siddhaloka, and his personal associates listened. Whoever was there in the assembly, everyone was listening when Lord Shiva was speaking to Mother Parvati. Sri Rudra Uvacha
Sri Rudra Uvacha.
Drishtavati Asi Sushroni
Drishtavati Asi Sushroni.
Hare Radbhuta Karmanaha
Ir Adbhuta Karmana.
Mahatmyam Mrutya Bhrutyanam
Mahatmyam Mritya Vrityanam.
Nishpruhanam Mahatmanam.
Nishprahanam Mahatmanam. Lord Shiva said, My dear beautiful Parvati, have you seen the greatness of the Vaishnavas? Being servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, they are great souls and are not interested in any kind of material happiness.
Lord Shiva said, My dear beautiful Parvati, you have seen the splendor of Prema Bhaktas without material desire, who are servants of the Lord possessing astonishing activities. Hare Adbhuta Karmana. O women with beautiful hips, you excel in beauty, but not in bhakti, not in jnana, not in vairagya. In this way, Lord Shiva jokes with Mother Parvati. So by addressing her, the most beautiful one, so Lord Shiva is indirectly indicating that. So my dear Parvati, you may be most beautiful, but you are not the best in your bhakti. So saying that, he will continue to speak. Like in a joking mood, he is saying, the Lord performs astonishing acts. Hare Adbhuta Karmana. I have seen this astonishing act of the Lord just now. What is that? The Supreme Lord has caused you to be offended and utter a curse. So Lord Shiva is telling that all this is orchestrated by Supreme Lord. Without you notice it, Lord gets the activity being done. So Lord inspired you to get offended by the words spoken by Chitraketu Maharaj, and Lord inspired you to curse him, so that Lord will take Chitraketu Maharaj to his spiritual abode. That is Lord's wonderful activity. The Lord has shown the greatness of his devotee, whose prema did not decrease at all, by showing the devotee's power to remain indifferent even when cursed by Mother Parvati. So Lord actually performed two wonderful activities. One wonderful activity is he used Mother Parvati as an instrument to curse Chitraketu Maharaj, who was offended by the words spoken by Chitraketu Maharaj. And second wonderful activity that Lord did is see how Lord's devotees respond to calamities. Even though you cursed him to become Asura, but Chitraketu Maharaj was not at all disturbed by that curse. He remained normal as usual. In fact, he became happy by your curse. The word Mahatmanam of great devotees has significance. If the curse you uttered in anger cannot give the slightest unhappiness to Chitraketu, then the curse is powerless. So, though you have cursed, but that curse did not produce any unhappiness in the heart of Chitraketu Maharaj. That means Chitraketu Maharaj is not at all affected by your curse. So, your curse has become useless. It has become useless. You should not treat the great devotees using having prema bhakti like this. From this day on, the lesson is entered. So, my dear Parvati, therefore, don't do this, don't do like this again afterwards. Because Lord's prema bhaktas are beyond the purview of three modes of material nature. So, they are not worried by curse and blessing. Just like Daksha, when cursed Narada Muni that you will not stay at one place, you keep wandering. So, Narada Muni was not at all disturbed by that curse. He took it as positively only, in a positive spirit. Okay, no problem. I can preach more. I can travel more. So he took it positively and he was not at all disturbed by that curse. He was not at all affected by curse. So then it is not a curse at all. Same way as Chitraketu Maharaj also not at all disturbed by the curse. So that curse is all futile only. That's how we have to understand. So this is what Lord Shiva is indicating. Then he glorified the greatness of such devotees of the Supreme Lord.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mother.
Prabhuji, like here we are seeing the Mother Parvati, she's at such a highest level that she's a consort of Lord Shiva. But still she couldn't recognize that, Chitraketu is at the level of Prema Bhakti. So what about us? Like how we will recognize?
No, not like that. See, even we discussed the previous class also. So on one level, it is like this. So you have not understood the mentality of a Prema Bhakta. That is there. So that is fine. But Mother Parvati also made all the statements. Na? She said, that is fine. Even though apparently what Lord Shiva is doing, one may say improper. But one should not say. Because it is done by Lord Shiva. Who are we to judge what Lord Shiva is doing right or wrong? So in one sense, this entire pastime is orchestrated by Lord Vishnu. So we cannot find fault with anybody here. What Lord Shiva is doing is not fault also. What Mother Parvati said is also not fault also. But everything is orchestrated by Lord to bring Chitraketu Maharaj close to him. So here there is no mistake of anybody.
Yeah,
But
that is, yeah.
since Lord
But
Shiva is very close to Mother Parvati, so indirectly or directly, he was just kind of joking with her. So in that way.
Okay. No, I was worried in the sense that how we will recognize somebody is at what level. Like we may, in its intention, it is always said that we should not offend anybody, even a non-devotee, because later on, if that person becomes devotee, then that will be considered as offense. What we need.
Dhruva Maharaj past time.
Yeah, like
Yes.
that. So, means like that also while dealing in the temple or anywhere in the devotee community, it is very hard to know na Prabhuji that somebody is at the
So
Raganuga.
that's why Bhagavad Gita verse we have to remember. Apiche suduracharo bhajate ma mananne bhag sadureva samantavya samya vyavatusavisa. So what is the meaning of that verse?
Anybody, even if he performs any abominable acts or anything, any so-called sinful act or something like that, but still if he is fixed in the devotion to Lord Krishna, then very quickly he will be, he will come out of that, and that is why we should not look at him as, we should not, it is up to Guru and Krishna. If he has done something wrong also, we are not in a position to take any stand for that. So let them deal with that, and we continue our relation normally with him as a Vaishnava.
See, no need to get into so much analysis, but to be more precise, it can be anybody, not necessarily Guru or Guru Varga, any devotee. If somebody is a devotee, if they made some mistake, we should not take the role of a judge. We should still consider them to be sadhu. Sadhu reva sa mantavya. The moment we take judgment role, we are at fault. So that we should be careful. That's all. But it's very difficult. But that is what is expected.
That's what it means. Try to practice, but it takes time, because till the time our purification of the mind is not there, we do feel bad about somebody saying something. Now also I was thinking it is such a nice state to be in, that somebody says you good or bad, you are not getting affected by it. So it's such a nice state to be in, but that is not very easy state to be in. To
For
reach there,
that, what Chitraketu Maharaj went through, we need to go through that much. Then we can come to that state. It cannot come just like that. We need to work hard to come to that state. Chitraketu Maharaj went through a lot. Like that.
yes, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you.
Narayana Parasarve
Narayana para sarve
Nakutaschana Bibhyati
na kutaschana bibhyati
Varga Narakeshu
varga pavarga narakeshu
Api Tulyartha Darshana.
api tulyartha darshina. Devotees solely engage in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of them.
Devotees solely engage in service of Lord Narayana, never fear any condition of life. For them, Swarga, Apavarga, Naraka, and any other things are all same. So this is the mentality of devotees. This is Lord Shiva is telling to Mother Parvati. What is the reason that the devotees have such greatness? Because they are fixed in Lord Narayana. That is the only reason. Not only King Chitraketu and others, but all devotees have no fear. That means the devotees who have completely surrendered to Lord Vishnu are not at all disturbed by external changes. Sarga, liberation, and hell are all equal because they are tasteless, since they do not have the happiness of bhakti. The devotee is not at all inclined to liberation. Then what to speak of Swarga and Naraka and all? So for them, they are all indifferent. Because of karma, if they have to go through all these places, they will go through. Otherwise, they never desire to go through any of these places. They only want to be with the Lord and serve the Lord in person for the rest of eternity. That is the mentality of a devotee. Like that. Dehinam deha samyogad
Dehinam deha samyogat
dvandvanishvara leelaya
dvandva ishwaran leelaya
sukam dukkam mrutirjanma
sukham dukkham mritirjanma
chapo nugraha evacha.
tapo anugraha evacha. Because of the actions of the Supreme Lord's external energy, the living entities are conditioned in contact with material bodies. The dualities of happiness and distress, birth and death, curses and favors are natural byproducts of this contact in the material world.
Yeah. The dualities of happiness and distress, birth and death, curses and favors are the products of this combination of the jiva with the body through Maya. All these things will take place, all these emotions one will go through only as long as we are in the material body. As long as we have some connection in the material body, we go through all these emotions. If one does not surrender to Lord Narayana, one ends up in this position. Ishwar Leelaya means by Maya, who receives her capacity through the playful glance of the Supreme Lord. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. So Prakriti is able to do all these things only by the glance of Lord Vishnu. That is understanding. As a result of that, Jiva comes in contact with the matter, then everything begins. Whatever we are going through is all because of our contact with Maya. When we disconnect that contact with Maya, we will never go through the material happiness and material miseries. That is the understanding. Then Lord Shiva further continues. Aviveka krita pumsho
अविवेक स्मृता पुंसो
hi artha bedaivatmani
ये अर्थभेद इवात्मनि
guna dosha vikalpascha
गुणदोष विकल्पश्च
vid eva surjivat kritaha.
विदेवस्त्रजीवत्कृता. As one mistakenly considers a flower garland to be a snake, or experiences happiness and distress in a tree, so in the material world, by a lack of careful consideration, we differentiate between happiness and distress, considering one good and the other bad.
So just like Chitraketu Maharaj spoke, similarly Lord Shiva also speaking same thing. Just as a person makes the mistake of identifying with the objects in a dream, one makes false identification with happiness and distress in the waking state. So in the dream also, we go through happiness and distress. But upon waking up, that happiness and distress has no meaning. Similarly, in this life also, we are going through set of happiness and distress. After the end of this life, if at all, by good fortune, if one goes to spiritual world, then this happiness and misery does not make any sense. So like that. Like it is like mistaking a garland for a rope. When you touch a garland and consider a rope, you may be afraid, thinking that maybe a snake also, something like that. One should know that temporary creations of Maya, that is happiness and distress, are all unreal because they are temporary. So whatever happiness and whatever misery that we are going through, they are all temporary. So since they are temporary, they should be considered as the creations of Maya. A sleeping person thinks he is eating food or having sunlight. So in relation to Chitraketu Maharaj, in the dream we may see that we are eating food and we see our family members are dying. But when you get up, so you don't have that misery. So you understand, hey, these are all only dream only, na. In reality, I did not have many of my sons died. So one becomes kind of relaxed. So though in this world, in this lifetime, we may go through so many difficulties or so many happy occasions. But when one goes to spiritual world, all these difficulties and all these happinesses here does not make any sense because they are all part of the dream only from the spiritual world point of view. So like that. Similarly, in the waking state, one thinks that one experiences happiness and distress. Guna dosha vikalpaha. An example is given for this. One mistakes a garland for something else, for a rope or for a snake. Even the daytime, when you enter into a dark room, if you touch something, just by it is a garland, but by touching it, sometimes we may think it is a garland, but many times we may think it as a rope or snake, and then we become afraid. That is what happening to us in this day-to-day life. But when we realize it is not a snake or it is not rope, but it is garland, then we become peaceful. Similarly, whatever we are going through, when we realize that is all simply a dream, it is a daydream, then we become happy, real happy. So like that, this is the understanding. Which Lord Sankarsana spoke to Chitraketu Maharaj. Chitraketu Maharaj himself spoke to Mother Parvati. Again, Lord Shiva is telling the same thing to Mother Parvati. That means whoever may be speaking, but the same philosophy they are speaking. Then how to come out of this mistaken identity and unreal situation? Take shelter of Lord Vasudeva. That is the only solution. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhaktim. Bhagavati
Vasudeve Bhagavati
Bhaktim Udvahatam Runam
Bhaktim Udvahatam Nranam
Jnana Vairagya Viryanam
Jnana Vairagya Viryanam
Nahi Kaschid Vyapashrayah.
Nahi Kaschit Vyapashraya. Persons engaged in devotional service to Lord Vasudeva Krishna have naturally perfect knowledge and detachment from this material world. Therefore, such devotees are not interested in the so-called happiness or so-called distress of this world.
Yeah, here Lord is saying that persons having bhakti for Lord Vasudeva, endowed with jnana and vairagya, do not take shelter elsewhere. Those people who are surrendered to Lord Vishnu and having developed sufficient jnana and vairagya does not look left or right. They are completely firmly fixed in that way. Attaining realization of the unreality of the objects seen in duality by the practice of jnana is difficult for the jnani. So, coming to the realization that whatever we are going through in this material world is all Maya. Just by jnana alone, it is very difficult to get it. But by bhakti, one can realize it very easily. That's how it is being indicated here. Because those who have bhakti for Lord Vasudeva, the jnana and vairagya automatically will come. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayed Ahetukam. So like that. The devotees, however, do not seek jnana and vairagya by the practice of jnana because bhakti itself produces jnana and vairagya. The devotees have no other shelter in this world. Nothing attracts them. By pursuing only bhakti, they do not make distinctions of good or bad material objects. Please understand the nature of the devotees. So, for devotees, they don't have to worry about treating things good or bad. Because for devotees, everything belongs to Lord, nothing belongs to me. So, since everything belongs to Lord, so there is no need to categorize the things of the Lord as good or bad, because everything belongs to Lord only. Who are we to say some things are good, some things are bad? सब कुछ भगवान का है. But on the other hand, those who are practicing jnana, since they do not have this complete surrender, they treat this material world. Some objects are good, some objects are bad. That is their natural analysis of this material world. But devotees don't analyze. For them, simply bhakti karna. बस और कुछ इधर उधर देखने का नहीं. That is the understanding. So then, Lord Shiva further says that if this is the quality of devotee, what is the quality of devotee? A devotee having surrendered to Supreme Lord does not look here and there, only engages in exclusive bhakti 24/7. For such a person, there is no need to consider something is good or something is bad, because there is nothing for himself. For he considers everything belongs to Supreme Lord only. And then, if a devotee is like this, then what is the what to talk about the Supreme Lord himself? What is the nature of the Supreme Lord? That is indicated in the next verse. नाहं विरिञ्चो न कुमारनारदौ
नाहं विरिञ्चो न कुमारनारदौ
न ब्रह्मपुत्रा मुनया सुरेश
न ब्रह्मपुत्रा मुनया सुरेशा
विदामयस्ये हितमात् हितमंशकां कांशला कांशका
विदामयस्ये हितमंशकाशका
न तत्स्वरूपं पृथगीशमानिनः
न तत्स्वरूपं पृथगीशमानिना. Neither I, Lord Shiva, nor Brahma, nor the Ashwini Kumaras, nor Narada or the other great sages who are Brahma's son, nor even the demigods can understand the pastimes and personality of the Supreme Lord. Although we are part of the Supreme Lord, we consider ourselves independent, separate controllers, and thus we cannot understand his identity.
In the previous verse, the nature of devotees is mentioned. When it comes to talk about the nature of the Supreme Lord, he says that no, we cannot understand. Neither I myself, nor Lord Brahma, nor the Kumaras, nor Narada, and all other great sages who are Brahma's sons, neither the Devatas, who are considered to be different part and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and who themselves considered to be some independent controllers, can never ever understand Lord's forms and activities. Na tat swarupam. We will never ever understand Lord's swarupa and Lord's intentions, Lord's activities. That is very difficult to say. Here, who is speaking? Lord Shiva himself is saying. Here, about our natures, we do not know the intentions of the Lord or his pastimes, since we think ourselves independent controllers. Now, hear about the nature of the Supreme Lord. So, the nature of the Lord cannot be understood by us because we think that we are independent controllers. As a result of that, we cannot understand the Supreme Lord. So, like that, Lord Shiva is stating. So that means Lord Shiva himself putting in a lower category than a pure devotee. So, out of humility, he is saying that. But in any case, this is the common theme from the beginning of the first canto. In the first canto, also, Bhishma, when he is speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj and the Ampashaya, Lord Krishna is standing in front of him. So he says that we cannot understand. Even the Muyanti Kavayopi, the great sages also get bewildered. Why Lord is doing what he is doing. So it is very difficult to understand. The same thing is coming here. So like that. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I didn't understand the context of this shloka. Like here, first he was explaining about the Vritrasura being pure devotees, and it is hard to understand the pure devotee. So now, why the means it is suddenly means all these personalities cannot understand the Supreme Lord? How it has come in this context? Like,
See, it's basically the Lord is establishing the hierarchy. There are conditioned souls who consider the material conditioning may be true, but a person knowledge will consider it is not a true condition. Just like in the dream, we may go through happiness and distress. Similarly, whatever we go through during the daytime also should be considered as dreamy experiences. That person is called as a knowledgeable person. Okay? And then, better than him is a great devotee. Who is a devotee? The devotee is having bhakti, he is surrendered to Supreme Lord, and he does not care about the knowledge and renunciation because they automatically will come. For a devotee, he considers everything belongs to Supreme Lord and he does not distinguish what is good, what is bad. He simply engages everything in Lord's service. So then, even though people may call us devotees, myself, Brahma, and Kumaras, Nardi, and all, and one may say that because you are a devotee, you should know about the Lord. No. Even though we may be devotees in the eyes of the worldly people, but from our own side, we think that we are independent controllers. As a result of that, we are not completely surrendered to Supreme Lord and we do not understand about the Supreme Lord properly or completely. So, in one sense, Lord Shiva is keeping himself lower than a pure devotee. Just to appease Mother Parvati, is doing it. So, what is the context? We may get it from the next verse. After the next verse, we may see. Let us see how it is indicated. Now, in the next verse, he is talking about the Supreme Lord.
He means that Vritrasura can understand the Lord, and that is why he has such an intense devotion. But we all cannot understand, like that he's trying to explain.
Yeah, somewhat. Obviously, na, a
Yeah,
devotee will never, he will always put other devotees as the superior to oneself.
right.
That's how the devotees deal with each other.
That is
So,
why
in that way.
being a Mahavaishnava also he's saying that like that. Yeah. Understood.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nahi asyasti priya kachin. Hare Krishna. Anyone?
Nahyasya, sorry.
Continue.
Nahyasya priyakaschin
Na priya swaparopi va.
nas na priya swaparopiya piva
Atmatva sarva bhutanam.
atmatvat sarvabhutanam
Sarva bhuta priyo harihi.
sarvabhuta priyo hari. He holds no one as very dear and no one as inimical. He has no one for his own relative and no one is alien to him. He is actually the soul of all living entities. Thus, he is the auspicious friend of all living beings and is very near and dear to all of them.
So Lord Shiva is telling that actually they cannot understand Lord's intentions and Lord's pastimes. But what we know about the Supreme Lord is this much. What is that? The Lord does not regard anyone with favor or hostility. He has no one as his own relative and no one is separate from him because he is the soul of all living entities. He is affectionate to all living entities and his affection for all living entities is equal. He is equally affectionate to each and every living entity because every living entity is an amsha of the Supreme Lord. So this is what we understand about him. The Lord is affectionate to all beings. Still, he favors no one nor hates no one. The cause of difference in treatment is Maya. Therefore, one should know the nature of Maya. Only those who are subjected to Maya, they will say, he is my friend, he is my enemy. But those who are beyond the influence of Maya, they will never say that one is my friend, one is my enemy. So Lord is like that person. Since he is beyond Maya, he does not say that one is friend, one is enemy. He loves every living entity because every living entity is part and parcel of himself only. So, like that. So, whatever he understands about the Lord, he kind of stated in one verse. Then it says, he further talks about himself and Chitraketu Maharaj. So the relationship between Chitraketu Maharaj and Lord Shiva kind of hinted in the next verse. Now hear about the nature of King Chitraketu and myself. So here Lord Shiva is saying that Tasya chaham mahabhagas
तस्य चाहं महाभागास्
Chitraketu priyo naga
चित्रकेतु प्रियो अनुगा
sarvatra samadrukshanto
सर्वत्र समादृक्षान्तो
hi aham chaivachyuta priya
हे अहं चैवाच्युत प्रिया
tasmanna vismaya karya
तस्मात् विस्मयाकार्या
purusheshu mahatmashu
पुरुषेषु महात्मसु
mahapurusha bhakteshu
महापुरुष भक्तेषु
shanteshu samadarshishu.
शान्तेषु समादर्शिषु. The magnanimous Chitraketu is a dear devotee of the Lord. He is equal to all living entities and is free from attachment and hatred. Similarly, I am also very dear to Lord Narayana. Therefore, no one should be astonished to see the activities of the most exalted devotees of Narayana, for they are free from attachment and envy. They are always peaceful and they are equal to everyone. Hare Krishna.
The fortunate, obedient King Chitraketu, who is very dear to the Lord, sees all living entities equal and is completely peaceful. Sasya Mahabhaga Chitraketu Priyo Anugaha Sarvatra Samadruk Shanto Achyuta Priyaha. So like that. What are the qualities of Chitraketu Maharaj? He is fortunate, obedient, the fortunate, obedient, who sees all living entities equally and who is completely peaceful is Chitraketu and is very dear to Supreme Lord. Similarly, I am also very dear to Lord Narayana. Therefore, no one should be astonished to see the activities of the most exalted devotees of the Lord Narayana, who are completely peaceful, equal to everyone. So there are two aspects of the devotees are mentioned. The devotees are completely peaceful and equal to everyone. So they never ever find fault with others. So indirectly is telling to Mother Parvati that Chitraketu, whatever he spoke, he did not speak out of finding fault in me. He actually glorified me. Because he is obedient, fortunate, and peaceful and equal to everyone. When somebody is equal to everyone, how can he find fault with somebody? That is not at all possible. So that's how Lord Shiva is telling that just the way Chitraketu is very dear to the Lord, I am also very dear to the Lord. Just the way Chitraketu is obedient, peaceful, and equal to all, I am also peaceful, obedient, and equal to all. That's why neither Chitraketu was finding fault with me, nor I am finding fault with Chitraketu. So we were peaceful, and you only in between became angry unnecessarily. So like that, Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati. Because he can tell he is the husband of Mother Parvati. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosya na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshchapyaham. I am equal to all living entities. I do not hate anyone, nor do I favor or anyone. I mean, to whatever extent a person worships me with devotion, I am attached to them in a similar way. This is the Bhagavad Gita shloka. Though King Chitraketu is equal to all, the cause of being dear to the Lord is the fact that he is a devotee. Even though he may be equal to all, many jnanis are also equal to all. But that does not make one dear to the Supreme Lord. One becomes dear to Supreme Lord because one is a devotee. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapiham. To whatever extent a person worships me with devotion, I am attached to them in a similar way. So like that. Because Chitraketu Maharaj is a great devotee, Lord is very dear to him, and he is very dear to Supreme Lord. Because I am also a devotee, I am also very dear to the Lord. So not only King Chitraketu is a devotee, I am also a devotee. Therefore, because we have internal friendship with each other, the harsh words he uttered only nourished the happiness of our friendship. You have uselessly become angry. Whatever Chitraketu Maharaj spoke, that actually increased my love for Chitraketu and Chitraketu's love for me. There is nothing faulty in that. You have unnecessarily become angry with Chitraketu's words. So like that, Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati here. So then it is elaborated. What is that? Increase their friendship. So Lord Shiva is telling that. Lord Shiva is telling to Chitraketu Maharaj. He did not say actually words, but he is speaking without any verbal communication. I am like this in truth. O Chitraketu, you show yourself to be detached through pure bhakti, but you enjoy with the Vidyadhara woman in private places. In front of everyone, O King Chitraketu, you show as if you are a great devotee. But in seclusion, you spend time with women. You are deceptive. And Lord Shiva says, I also show myself to be controlled by women, and I also act deceptively. In front of everyone, I act as if I am controlled by women. But in my private seclusion, I am not at all attached to women. Thus, I am also acting deceptively. But whereas you show bhakti and hide your material enjoyment, and I show material affairs and hide my bhakti. Let the assembly witness our inner friendship. So this is Lord Shiva is telling that. So my dear Chitraketu, you are speaking big words, saying that a devotee does not act like this in front of the public. So I am acting like this to show to the people that I am attached to women, but actually I am not attached. But you are acting like a great self-controlled devotee, but in private you actually associate with women. I do not mind for this. So like that. In this way, the two had exchanged words in a joking way. If you had not interrupted us by your angry words in bad taste, he would not have been cursed. In this way, Lord Shiva scolds Mother Parvati. So basically, Lord Shiva is telling, we were talking something with each other, and why you unnecessarily became angry and cursed him for no reason. Otherwise, you could have continued for some more discussion. So like that he is telling. Then Mother Parvati became astonished. Oh, you are the Lord, a great devotee from beginningless time. You have such love for the mature fallen Kshatriya who now ascends to the path of bhakti. I offer respects to you. So, my dear Lord, it's fine. I understand you are a great devotee. But Chitraketu became devotee just now, recently only. But you are devotee from the beginning of the creation. So, why are you so much glorifying Chitraketu? It's okay. I accept that he has become devotee. But you don't have to glorify him as so high. In answer to her mood of astonishment, Lord Shiva says, no one should be astonished to see the activities of the most exalted devotee of Lord Narayana, who are peaceful, who are equal to everyone. So he says that my dear Parvati does not mind whether one may become long back or one may become recently. When a person becomes devotee, they will exhibit same qualities. They are peaceful, obedient, and they are equal to everyone, and Lord is very much pleased with them. Even one is one day devotee or 1 month devotee or 1 year devotee or one lifetime devotee, Lord is equally pleased with all those devotees. So, like that, Lord Shiva establishes the position of Chitraketu Maharaj and the position of himself and the friendship that is there between both of them. So, in that way. And indirectly indicate that you are actually restless for no reason. You have cursed such a great devotee like Chitraketu Maharaj. So these are the few words spoken by Lord Shiva unto Mother Parvati in a jokingly reprimanded her, not seriously. So like that. Any questions? Hare Krishna, are able to follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
Then last couple of verses concluding this chapter. Sukadeva Goswami says, Iti Shrutva Bhagavata
Iti Shrutva Bhagavata
Shivasyoma Vibhashitam
Shivasyoma Vibhashitam
Babhuva Shantadhirajan
Babhuva Shantadhirajan
Devi Vigata Vismaya.
Devi Vigata Vismaya. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, O king, after hearing,
Hare Krishna, you are muted again.
oh sorry, Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, O king, after hearing this speech by her husband, the demigoddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva, gave up her astonishment at the behavior of King Chitraketu and became steady in intelligence.
Yeah, here Sukadeva Goswami is saying that, O king, after hearing this speech by her husband, Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati gave up her astonishment at the behavior of King Chitraketu and became peaceful in intelligence. Shanta Di, peaceful intelligence, indicates that remembering her previous mood, she became ashamed and covered her face with her cloth. So, like that. Then, Iti Bhagavato Devya
इति भगवतो देव्या
Pratishaptum Alantama
प्रतिश प्रतिशप्तुम् अलन्तमा
Murdna Sa Jagrihe Shapam
मूर्ध्ना सा जग्रे शापम्
Etavas Sadulakshanam.
एतावत् साधुलक्षणम्. The great devotee Chitraketu was so powerful that he was quite competent to curse Mother Parvati in retaliation. But instead of doing so, he very humbly accepted the curse and bowed his head before Lord Shiva and his wife. This is very much to be appreciated as the standard behavior of a Vaishnava.
Though able to curse Mother Parvati in return, King Chitraketu accepted the curse on his head. Such is the good nature of a devotee. This is like a devotee should be. Jajne Tvashtur Dakshinagno
Jadne Tvashtur Dakshinagna
Danavim Yonimashrita
Danavim Yonimashrita
Vrutra iti Abhivikyato
Vrutra iti Abhivikhyato
Jnana Vijnana Samyutaha.
Jnana Vijnana Sanyuta. Being cursed by Mother Durga, Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva, that same Chitraketu accepted birth in a demonic species of life. Although still fully equipped with transcendental knowledge and practical application of that knowledge in life, he appeared as a demon at the fire sacrifice performed by Tvashta, and thus he became famous as Vritrasura.
Hmm. That same King Chitraketu accepted birth in a demonic family and appeared from the southern fire, Dakshinagni, in the sacrifice performed by Tvashta. Endowed with spiritual knowledge and realization, he was known as Urtrasura. Though he took birth as a Asura, but his memory, his knowledge did not waver. Just like Bharata Maharaj appeared as a deer and then appeared as a Brahmana Bharat, his knowledge did not waver. Same way, King Chitraketu Maharaj's knowledge did not waver. These are the two case studies in the same canto of sixth canto of Bhagavatam. They have taken another birth, but their knowledge did not waver by the blessings of the Supreme Lord. So like that. So this is the history of King Chitraketu. Then Palashruti. एतत्ते सर्वमाख्यातम्
एतत्ते सर्व आख्यातम्
यन्मां त्वं परिपृच्छसि
यन्मां त्वं परिपृच्छसि
वृत्रासूयासुराजातेश्च
वित्रासुरचातेश्च
कारणं भगवन्मते.
कारणं भगवान् मते. My dear King Parishit, you inquired from me how Vritasura, a great devotee, took birth in a demonic family. Thus, I have tried to explain to you everything about this.
I have explained everything you have asked about concerning the cause of Vrutrasura's birth as a demon, though he was actually a great devotee. Itihasam imam punyam
Itihasam imam punyam
चित्रकेतोर्महात्मनः
Chitraketor Mahatmana
माहात्म्यं विष्णुभक्तानां
Mahatmyam Vishnu Bhaktanam
श्रुत्वा बन्धनाद्विमुच्यते श्रुत्वा बन्धाद्विमुच्यते.
Ritva Bandhadi Muchate. Chitraketu was a great devotee, Mahatma. If one hears this history of Chitraketu from a pure devotee, the listener also is freed from the conditional life of material existence.
If one hears this pious history of King Chitraketu, a great devotee from the devotees, one is freed from the bondage of material existence. So basically, Mahatmyam Vishnu Bhaktanam Shrutva Bandhad Vimuchyate. When we hear the pastime of Mahatma Chitraketu from a great devotee, we also become freed from material bondage, just like he became freed from the material bondage. Something like that. Yaitat Prataruttaya
Yaetat Prataruthaya
Shraddhaya Vagyata Pratet
Shraddhaya Vagyata Pathe
Itiyasam Harim Snutva
Itihasam Harim Smrutva
Tayati Paramam Gatim.
Dayati Paramam Gati. One who rises from bed early in the morning and recites this history of Chitraketu, controlling his words and minds and remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will return home back to Godhead without difficulty.
One who rising from bed early in the morning and after remembering the Supreme Lord recites with great faith this history of King Chitraketu while controlling one's words and mind, one will attain the spiritual world. So basically, every day morning after getting up, after taking a bath, offering obeisance to Supreme Lord, one should hear the pastime of Chitraketu. So eventually, one attain the same destination that Chitraketu attained. These are some verses of Falashruti. So like that. So this is from chapter 17 about Chitraketu Maharaj. Then we'll go to chapter 18. Any questions? Hare Krishna, devotees?
No, Guruji.
Okay. So if there are no questions, we'll have quickly for a couple of minutes break. Then we'll continue with chapter 18. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Devotees are there? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So we have discussed the pastime of Ajamila, then the pastime of Daksha, then the pastime of Vishwarupa, Indra, and then Rudrasura, Triketu Maharaj. Now, finally, the pastime of Diti in connection to Pumshavana Vrata will be explained in the last two chapters. So these are the last two chapters of Canto 6. So Diti performs vows to kill Indra. Diti undergoes Pumshavana Vrata to kill Indra. That is explained in the 18th chapter. The 18th chapter describes how Diti, whose two sons had been killed by Lord Vishnu, the two sons were Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, were killed by Lord Vishnu's two forms, Lord Varaha and Lord Narasimha, performed austerities for a son to kill Indra, and how after Indra cut the child in Diti's womb to pieces, the embryo became 49 Marus. So in this pastime, basically, Diti wanted to have a son who can kill Indra, who was the cause of the death of her two sons. Just like Sashta produced a son who can kill Indra, but by the will of the providence, Swashta pronounced the mantra in a wrong way. As a result of that, Swashta had a son who will be killed by Indra. Same way, here we will see in this chapter, Diti wanted to have a son for which he is supposed to go through a vow. So Kashyapa intrigued, or Kashyapa in a trick made her perform Vishnu Vrata. As a result of that, she wanted to have a son who can kill Indra, but she had a son, multiple sons, who followed Indra. That is the result of Vishnu worship. Even one may approach the Supreme Lord with bad intention, because one sincerely worships Lord Vishnu, the bad intention will transform into good, and the expected bad result will turn into good result. That is indicated in this chapter. So let us see what it is. So this is a big chapter about 78 verses. So, but mostly it is all like the name. First part is all names only. Second part is all storyline only. So it should not take much time. So we'll continue with. So previously in the chapter 6, while explaining the descendants of the 60 daughters of Daksha, he was speaking about the 17 wives, 17 daughters who are given in marriage to Kashyapa. Out of 17, 15 daughters' descendants are explained. The 16th one was, in one sense, 15th or 16th, whatever, Aditi. So Aditi gave birth to 12 sons, 12 Adityas. Out of 12, the 4 sons were described in the chapter 6. The 4th son was Twashta. And Twashta had a Vishwarupa, a son Vishwarupa, whose head has been cut by Indra. That is why Parishit Maharaj asked question, why Vishwarupa's head was being cut by Indra and why Vishwarupa was accepted by Devatas as their guru, why not Brihaspati, what happened to Brihaspati, etc. etc. Then the entire story continued from chapter 7 all the way till now, 17th. Tak. Now the story is continuing now. Now the starting with the 5th son of Aditi will be explained first. Sri Shuka Uvacha.
Sri Shuka Vacha.
Prishnistu Patni Savituhu.
Prashnistu Patni Savituhu.
Savitrim Vyahritam Trayim.
Savitrim Vyahritim Traim.
Agnihotram Pashum Somam.
Agnihotram Pashum Somam.
Chaturmasyam Mahamukan.
Chaturmasyam Mahamakan. Sri Sukadev Goswami said, Prashni, who was the wife of Savita, the 5th of the 12 sons of Aditi, gave birth to 3 daughters, Savitri, Vyahitri, and Trai, and the sons named Agnihotra, Pashu, Soma, Chaturmasya, and the 5 Mahayajnas.
So out of the 12 Adityas, Savita was the 5th one. And he married Prushni. and then they gave birth to 3 daughters and many sons. They are all indicative of different sacrifices. In relating to the descendants of Aditi's sons, the fourth son was mentioned as Tvashta. In relation to him, the story of Vishwarupa's murder and the curse of Chitraketu were described till now. Now the description of Aditi's descendants from the fifth and other sons is given. So 4 sons were described already. Now fifth son is described. Fifth one is Savita, and his children are mentioned. All his children are deities of different sacrifices. Then sixth one. Siddhir Bharyanga
Siddhir Bharyanga
Mahimanam Vibhum Prabham
Mahimanam Vibhum Prabhum
Ashisham Chavararoham
Ashisham Javararoham
Kanyam Prasuta Suratam.
Kanya Prasuta Subrata. O King, Siddhi, who was the wife of Bhaga, the sixth son of Aditi, bore 3 sons named Mahima, Vibhu, and Prabhu, and one extremely beautiful daughter whose name was Asi.
Dhatuhu Kuhu Sinivali
Dhatuhu Kuhu Sinivali
Raka Chanumatistata
Raka Chanumatistatha
Sayam Darsham Ata Prataha
Sayam Darsham Atha Prata
Purnamasamanukramāt
Purnamasamanukramāt
Agni Purishan Adatta
Agnin Purishanadatta
Kriyayam Samanantara
Kriyayam Samanantara
Charsani Varunasyasid
Charshani Varunasyasid
Yasyam Jato Bhrugu Punaha.
Yasyam Jato Bhrugu Puna. Dhata, the seventh son of Aditi, had 4 wives named Kuhu, Sinivali, Raka, Anumati. These wives begot 4 sons named Sayam, Darsha, Prataha, and Purnamasa, respectively. The wife of Vidhata, the 8th son of Aditi, was named Kriya. In her, Vidhata begot the 5 fire gods named Purishas. The wife of Varuna, the 9th son of Aditi, was named Charshni. Bhrigu, the son of Brahma, took birth again in her womb.
Samantaraha refers to Vidata, the 8th son. In his wife Kriya, he bore the fires called Purushas. Shruti says, Panchachitihi Purushaso Agnayaha. The 5 fires called as Purusha. Charsani was the wife of Varuna. Previously, Bhugu was born the son of Brahma, but was again born as Varuna's son. Bhrigu and Valmiki were the sons of Varuna alone, whereas Agastya and Vasishta were the sons of both Varuna and Mitra. So because of some reason, Bhrigu might have been cursed by someone, so he had to leave his body, and he is again born as the son of Varuna. And also, Bhrigu begets Valmiki. Valmiki is also the son of Bhrigu only. So these were the 2 sons of Bhrigu. Agastya and Vasishta were born both from Varuna and Mitra. There is a reason for that, it will be mentioned in the next verse. Varuna was the 9th son of Aditi. The list is given in chapter 6, text number 39. So now, Valmikischa Mahayogi
वाल्मीकिश्च महायोगी
Valmikad Abhavat Kila
वाल्मीकाद् अभवत् किला
Agastyascha Vasishtascha
अगस्त्यश्च वसिष्ठश्च
Mitra Varunayo Rishi.
Mitra Varunayo Rishi. By the semen of Varuna, the great mystic Valmiki took birth from an ant hill. Bhrigu and Valmiki were specific sons of Varuna, whereas Agastya and Vasishta Rishi were the common sons of Varuna and Mitra, the 10th son of Aditi. Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Ah,
this Valmiki mentioned over here, Bhrigu and this is this Valmiki the Ramayana Valmiki fame, that same Rishi?
yeah, he should be the same Valmiki only. He is born out of the anthill. Basically, sometimes the next verse we'll see. When we see the next verse, we'll understand. Sometimes the sages look at apsaras and become attracted and they lose their semen. And the semen might be far felt somewhere, and from there only the child is born. So, like that, it is indicated here. So, the next verse talks about it only. The normal sons of Mitra will be explained in the next verse. The sons of common birth from both Mitra and Varuna were Agastya and Vasishta. At one point of time, Agastya and Vasishta are supposed to leave their bodies and they are born again through the via medium of Agastya and no, were through the medium of Varuna and Mitra. So why? How? Retaha Shishichetus Kumbe
Retaha Shishyatu Kumbe
Purvasya Sannidau Drutam
Urvasya Sannidau Drutam
Revatyam Mitra Vussargam
Revatya Mitramutsargam
Arishtam Pippalam Vyadat.
Arishtam Pippalam Vyadat. Upon seeing Urvashi, the celestial society girl, both Mitra and Varuna discharged semen, which they preserved in an earthen pot. The two sons Agastya and Vashishta later appeared from that pot, and they are therefore the common sons of Mitra and Varuna. Mitra begot 3 sons in the womb of his wife, whose name was Revati. Their names were Utsarga, Arishta, and Pippala.
So here, both Mitra and Varuna won Desa Urashi. Just by looking at her, they discharged their semen, but that was preserved in a pot. In due course of time, from that pot appeared 2 children. So this seems to be some, what is this? What Bhagavatam is speaking about all these things, but sometimes it happens like that. So then, that's why in the Bhagavatam, the Ajamila pastime, which Sukadeva Goswami heard from Agastya, there Agastya is referred as Kumbha Sambhava, he who is born from pot. That is the introduction of Agastya Rishi, Kumbha Sambhava. Just like when our Dhritarashtra's wife Gandhari hits on her domain, the embryo comes out as a lump of flesh. Vyasdev divided that flesh into 101 parts and puts each and every part in one part. And eventually the 100 Kauravas and Dushala were born. They are also born from the pot. So in one sense, in the past, the pot is used as a test tube to produce a test tube baby. So the technology was there then. So it is like that. And then the 10th son, Mitra, married Revati and they gave birth to Ussaraga, Arishta and Pippala. Agastya and Vasishta were the sons of both Varuna and Mitra because they discharged the semen in a pot. The Shruti says, Kumbe Retaha Shishi Chatuhu Samanam. They discharged semen together in a pot. So, like that. So, this was about 10th son. 10th son is Mitra. And then the 11th son is Indra. That is mentioned now. Paulomyam Indra Adatta.
Paulomyamindra adhatta
Trin Putran iti nashrutam.
trin putran iti nashrutam
Jayantam Rushabam Tata.
jayantam shabdata
Tritiyam Midusham Prabhu.
trutiyam vidusham prabhu. O King Parikshit, Indra, the king of the heavenly planets and 11th son of Aditi, begot three sons named Jayanta, Rishabha, and Nidusha in the womb of his wife Paulomi. They thus we have heard.
Hmm. So Indra, who married Paulomi, gave birth to three children known as Jayanta, Rishabha, and Medusha. Then the 12th
Hare
Aditya.
Krishna, Hare
Yes,
Krishna
ma'am.
Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Paulomi is the same as Shachi.
Yeah, same as Sachet. I don't know, I'm not sure. So Indra can have multiple wives also, na?
Okay.
She can have Sachi also, she can have Paulomi also. I'm not sure. As both can be same also.
Okay.
Another name of Paulomi also can be Sachi. Maybe in Mahabharata we may get more details. But at least as of now, I don't know. Urukramasya devasya
Urukramasya devasya
maya vamana rupinaha
ma maya vamanarupinaha
kirtau patnyam bruhashlokas
kirtau patnyam brihat shlokas
Tasyasan Saubhagadaya.
tasya sansaubagadaya. By his own potency, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has multifarious potencies, appeared in the form of a dwarf as Urukrama, the 12th son of Aditi. In the womb of his wife, whose name was Kirti, he begot one son named Brihashloka, who had many sons headed by Saubhaga.
Urukrama or Vamana, the 12th son of Aditi, who appeared through the Lord's spiritual potency, begot one son named Broshloka in the womb of his wife Kirti. Broshloka had many sons headed by Saubhaga. Maya here is na Maya Vamana Rupina. So Maya means not the illusion, but Maya here refers to the eternal Swarupa Shakti of the Supreme Lord, which is also called Maya. So even sometimes in the Bhagavatam, the Yoga Maya is also referred as Maya. So according to context, we have to understand which Maya is being talked about here. So in that way. So in this way, the 12 sons of Aditi and their children, their marriages and their children are being indicated. Tatkarma guna viryani
Tatkarma guna viryani
Kashyapasya Mahatmana
kashyapasya mahatmana
Pashad Vakshamahe Dityam
paschad vakshamahe adityam
Yataiva Avataraha.
yathaiva vavataraha. Later, in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I shall describe how Urukrama, Lord Vamandev, appeared as the son of the great sage Kashyapa and how he covered the three worlds with three steps. I shall describe the uncommon activities he performed, his qualities, his power, and how he took birth from the womb of Aditi.
So the birth and activities of the Supreme Lord as Vamana will be described later on. He says, I will explain about them later. Because we know the pastime comes in the 8th canto, Srila Prabhupada includes in the 8th canto. Like that. So this is how the 12 Adityas and their marriages and their children are explained. Some 4 of them are explained in the 4th chapter and remaining 8 are explained in the current chapter. So Kashyapa married Aditi, gave birth to 12 Adityas, starting with Vivasvan, Arnima, Pusha, Tvashta, Savita, etc. So Vivasvan married Samyas, 2 children. Vivasvan married Vadva, 2 children. Vivasvan married Chaya, 3 children. Second son Aryama married Matrika, many children. Pusha, no children. Twasta married Rachana, Sannivesha and Vishwarupa. And eventually, what is his name? Vrutrasura also their son only. Twasta's son. Savita married Prashni, they gave birth to so many fire devatas. Yajna Devatas, all these are different Yajna names. Bhaga married Siddhi and gave birth to Mahima, Vibhu, etc. etc. Data married 4 wives. Kuhu, Shinivali, Raka, Anumati. Gave birth to Sayam, Darsa, Prataha, and Purnamasa. These are the deities of the different parts of the day. Sayam means evening, Prata means early morning, Darsha means daytime, Purnamasa means Paurnami. So they are the deities of those particular timings. Vidata married Kriya, gave birth to five gods. Varuna married Chersani, gave birth to Bhrugu and Valmiki. Varuna and Mitra looking at Urusi produced semen and by which produced Agastya and Vasishta. Mitra married Revati and begot Ustarga, Arishta, etc. Then Indra, who is also known as Shatru, married Paulomi, gave birth to Jayanta, Rishabha, and Medusha. Then finally, the 12th one, Virukrama, or Lord Vamana, who is 7th Manvantara Avatara. He married Kirti and produced Gurusloka, who in turn produced Saubhagya and many other sons. So, like this, the 12 Adityas, their marriages and their children are described. And next, the 2 descendants of Diti will be described in the next 6 verses, 7 verses. Diti and her descendants are described. Danu already mentioned. So then Aditi is also over. Finally, Diti's children are mentioned now. Yes, Mataji.
Hanisha Prabhuji. Prabhuji, here that Bhaga and all is mentioned, they are the same who were present at the Daksha's sacrifice, and there that mentioned had come, na? And they had been given some punishment also. Bhaga got some eyes.
Yeah, you see here. Pusha, his teeth are broken by Veerabhadra. It is mentioned that time like that. Bhaga, he was also there. I think they again repeated their birth. They again appeared after Daksha Yajna. They again took birth now.
They came with the same name like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vamandev had also married later, Prabhuji, like here.
Later. So Vamana appeared recently. These are all appeared during Chakshusha Manvantara only, but Vamana appeared during the 7th Manvantara. In the 7th Manvantara, during the 7th Chaturyuga, Lord Vamana appeared the 12th son of Aditi and Kashyapa. But
Okay,
all
so
the remaining sons all appeared during Chakshusha Manvantara itself.
Okay, so these rishis, they stay throughout all the manvantaras, and they are like, I think.
See,
I
these
guess
rishis, for example, this Agastya, Vasishta, Bhrugu and all, their lifespan is equal to that of Brahma. They live as long as Brahma's lifespan, 100 years.
Okay, yeah.
Because they are in the material world, sometimes some people might get hurt by them, they may curse them to die. They will die, but immediately they take birth again. So like that.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, these are the Saptarshis which are in charge of the.
Not always. Sometimes whenever they are assigned the position of Saptarushi, they will act like that during one Manvantara, and the next Manvantara somebody else will become Saptarushis. So those Saptarushis who are during Swayambhu Manvantara are different from those who are now. And in the 8th Manvantara, again some different people will become Saptarushis. They keep changing after every Manvantara.
Just like Vyasa also changes every Manvantar.
No, Vyasa changes after every Kali Yuga.
Yes.
At the end of every Dwapara Yuga, new Vyasa comes and compiles the scriptures for the residents of Kali Yuga. He keeps changing every Yuga.
So same way these Saptarshis.
But Saptarishis change only after every Manvantara. They change just like the Devatas. Devatas change after every one Manvantara. Saptarishis also change along with them after every one Manvantara.
Okay. Only Vyasa changes every Chaturyuga.
Vyasa is there. He appears at the end of every Dwapara Yuga and writes all the books so that Kali Yuga people can read and understand.
Thank you.
So next, Diti. Ata Kashyapa Dayadan.
Atha Kashyapa Dayadan
दैतेयान् कीर्तयामि ते
Daiteyan kirtayami te
यत्र भागवता श्रीमान्
yatra bhagavata Sriman
प्रह्लादो बलिरेव च
prahrado bali revacha
दितेर्द्वाौ एव दायादौ
diterdvaveva dayadau
दैत्यदानववादितौ
daitya danava vanditau
हिरण्यकशिपुर्नाम
hiranyakashipur nama
हिरण्याक्षश्च कीर्तितौ
hiranyakshascha kirtitau. Let me describe the sons of Diti who were begotten by Kashyapa but who became demons. In this demoniac family, the great devotee Prahlad Maharaj appeared, and Bali Maharaj also appeared in that family. The demons are technically known as Daityas because they proceeded from the womb of Diti. The two sons named Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha took birth from Diti's womb. Both of them were very powerful and were worshipped by the Daityas and Danavas.
Diti gave birth to Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and in their lineage there are many powerful Danavas who are worshipped by rest all. But at the same time, in their lineage, there are devotees also appeared, such as Prahlad Maharaj and Ali Maharaj. So, in that way, Hiranyakashipur Bharya
Hiranyakashipu,
Hiranyakashipu
please carry.
Bharya
Kayadur Namadanavi Kayadur
Kayadur Kayadhurnam Danavi
Jambasya Tanaya Satu
Jambasya Tanaya Satu
Sushuve Chaturasutan
Sushuve Chatura Sutan
Samradam Praganuradhan
Samradam Prag Anuradham
Radham Praradhamevacha
Radham Praharadam Evacha
Tatvashvasa Simhika Nama
Tatsvasa Simhika Nama
Rahum Viprachito Graha Grahit.
Rahum Viprachito Grahit. The wife of Hiranyakashipu was known as Kayadhu. She was the daughter of Jambha and the descendant of Danu. She gave birth to 4 consecutive sons known as Samlada, Anullada, Lada, and Prahlada. The sister of these 4 sons was known as Simhika. She married the demon named Viprachit and gave birth to another demon named Rahu.
Hiranyakashipu married Kayadu and gave birth to 4 sons and 1 daughter. The 4 sons were Samlada, Hanulada, Lada, and Prahlada, and the 1 daughter was Simhika. And she married Viprachiti and gave birth to 1 Rahu and 100 Ketus. That is the children of them. Shiro Ahradi Yasya Haris
Shiro Aharadasya Harishchakre
Chakrena Pibato Mrutam
Chakrena Pibato Mritam
Samradasya Kritir Bharya
Samradasya Kriti Bharya
Suta Panchajanam Tataha.
Suta Panchajanam Tata. While Rahu in disguise was drinking nectar among the demigods, the Supreme Personality of Godhead severed his head. The wife of Samlada was named Krati. By union with Samlada, Krati gave birth to a son named Panchajan.
When Rahu drank nectar among the devatas, the Supreme Lord severed his neck. So this pastime will come in the 8th canto in the Samudra Manthan episode. Now we don't have to get into details. The wife of Samlada was named Kriti. By union with Samlada, Kriti gave birth to a son known as Panchajana. This Panchajana is the same demon. Panchajanyam Rishikesha is there, na? The Panchajana who had that Panchajana conchal as his mukut. Lord Krishna killed him while searching for the son of his guru, Sandipani Muni. So Lord killed him and finally took that Panchajanya conchal and went to Yamaloka. There he blew that conchal. Since then, that conchal was with Lord Krishna, Panchajanya. It was worn by Panchajana as the mukut, as part of the mukut. Like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ah.
Prabhuji, this previous shloka, this Simhika is mentioned now.
Hmm.
She is mentioned as the sister of Prahlad,
Ah.
like that. And
Yes.
in Bali Maharaj pastime, we say that when Vamandev came, she felt like first she felt motherly love, and then she felt like killing him.
No, that was not Simika. That was not Simika. That was different. I think Ratnamala, her name is Ratnamala or something like that.
Okay, I thought she's Simika only. That
No, Simika, which comes in the Ramayana. Ramayana, she comes to obstruct Hanumanji. That's Simika. Is this one.
okay.
Hmm.
And this Panchajanya, you explained, Prabhuji, he was a demon and he put this conch shell as his crown, like that.
Ah. See, the Panchajanya, but one time our his name is what? Spiritual master Sandipani Muni with his family members went to Western Ocean.
Yeah.
The child playing was the bank of the ocean. The child went into the water. The Panchajana ate the child of Sandipani Muni. They were searching here and there, they could not find, they came back. They lost, is drowned in the ocean. But later on, when Krishna completed his education, he asked for Guru Dakshina. Then he said, please get my son back. So Krishna and understood everything, what all happened on the bank of the ocean. They went to the ocean and Krishna jumped into the ocean and fought with the Panchajana and killed him. And he entered into the abdomen of Panchajana to understand any remnants of the body are there. Nothing is there. So then Krishna comes out and takes his makut and takes the conch shell from that makul and used that conch shell for further usage. And later on they went to Yamaloka and that is where the child was there in the care of Yamaraj. So from there he brought him. So like that.
Yeah. And Prabhuji, one last thing, like Kashyap's sons, some sons are demigods and some sons are daityas, like that. It has to be understood from the point of view that Kashyapa was assigned a duty to create various species, and that is why it is like that.
Yes. Kashyapa was assigned to produce the various living entities. He did it full-fledged.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I think here Arjuna had accompanied Krishna in this trip, isn't it?
Here, no. Krishna and Balaram both went, not Arjuna. They just finished their education and before going back to Mathura, they went to this place and Arjuna did not meet Krishna at that time.
Okay.
So Arjuna was still in the Himalayas. They not yet come to Hastinapur only at this time. This is all happening. Just Krishna went to Mathura, killed Kamsa. Immediately the father sent him to Ujjain. The main reason, not for education, to keep Krishna and Balram away from Mathura so that Jarasandha will not harm Krishna and Balram.
Okay.
So he want to hide his children. But Krishna and Balram were worried. Jarasandha may wage war in Mathura. They finished all their education in 2 months and then immediately they came back for the safety of Mathura.
That must be another story where Arjuna accompanies him to even Vaikuntha to meet Lord Narayan. I think 7 sons of a Brahman was.
That is a different. Yeah, that is 10 sons of Brahmana. That is Dwaraka. After Lord Krishna shifted to Dwaraka, that happened much later.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Radhasya dhamanerbharya
Radhasya dhamanerbharya
Sutavatapi milvalam
Sutavatapi milvalam
Yo agastayatu atitaye
Yo agastyaya tva adityaye
Peche Vatapi Milvalaha.
Peche Vatapi Milvala. The wife of Lada was named Damani. She gave birth to two sons named Vatapi and Ilvala. When Agastya Muni became Ilvala's guest, Ilvala served him a feast by cooking Vatapi, who was in the shape of a ram. What is it?
So Lada married Damani and gave birth to twins, Vatapi and Ilvala. These are big Rakshasas. So Ilvala would tell his brother, younger brother, Vatapi, you become like a ram and I will hunt you and I'll prepare food from your flesh and will invite some sage and will feed them. Because at that point of time, that flesh can be accepted if it is offered in a Shraddha rite or in a Yajna. Otherwise, flesh should not be eaten. Only some Brahmana communities would accept it as Mahaprasad or as Prasad. Not every Brahmana person. Some section. So they would invite such a Brahmana and they would offer that the flesh preparation to this Brahmana and he would eat. Then Ilvala would say that Vatapi, please come out. Then Vatapi would come out of the abdomen of that sage, that Brahmana, piercing the abdomen. So the Brahmana, unable to tolerate the pain, would die. And later on, these two will eat the flesh of that Brahmana. So this is how they would enjoy life. They would have fun killing the sages one after the other. So all the Brahmanas complained to Agastya. So one day Agastya went as a guest to their place. He did same thing. So before Ilavala could say that Vatapi, please come out, Agastya said, Vatapi Jirno Baba. He ate and he told, let Vatapi digest ho jao. So Vatapi digest ho gaye. So Ilvala calling 10 times. So Vatapi was not coming out. Then Ilvala became angry and he raised his weapon to kill Agastya. Then Agastya, using his mantra danda, killed Ilvala also. So in one sense, Vatapi and Ilvala both were killed by Agastya, and Agastya saved all the Brahmana community who are living in the nearby vicinity. So like that.
Hare Krishna.
Ah.
This is quite a different incident. Now, usually we see when the Brahmanas are troubled by the Rakshasas or demons, they generally try to get help from the Lord or from some Kshatriya king like that. But they themselves don't kill any demons like that, being a Brahmanas. But
Yes,
this
yes.
is, I think, very unique incidents where he, being a Brahmana, he himself killed both the asuras.
Yeah. Agastya could do it because since the matter was very urgent, they cannot wait anymore. So he took, and more than that, Agastya do not want to stay anymore there because he was traveling towards south. This incident happened after Vindhya mountain. When Vindhya mountain was growing further and further, Agastya told, you stay, you wait, don't go further, I'm going to south and come back. So I think during the same pastime only this Leela also happened. Agastya wanted to go to south as early as possible. So he does not want to wait seeing the Brahmanas getting suffered. So he did it and then he went ahead. So in that way. But even a Kshatriya cannot do anything also. Kshatriya can come for fight, but if Kshatriya is invited as a guest, he has to accept the honor. He cannot say no for Aditya. But Agastya went and accepted the invitation and he digested Vatapi. And then he also destroyed Ilvala. So it's like a self-defense activity. So it's like that. Then the next son, Hanuradasya Suryayam
Anuradasya Suryayam
Bhaskalo Mahishastata
Bhashkalo Mahishastatha
Virochanastu Praharadair
Virochanastu Praharadir
Devyam Tasya Bhavadbali.
Devyam Tasya Bhavat Bali. The wife of Anulada was named Surya. He gave birth to two sons named Bashkala and Mahisha. Prahlada had one son, Virochan, whose wife gave birth to Bali Maharaj.
Hmm. So the third son was Anlada. He married Surya and gave birth to different children. The fourth son was Prahlada. He married whom he married, we don't know the name, but he had a son Virochana, and Virochana gave birth to Ali Maharaj. Bhanajeshtam putrashatam
Varnajeshtham putrashatam
asannayam tato bhavat
asham nayam tato bhavat
tasyanubhavam suslokyam
tasyanubhavam sushlokyam
पश्चाद एवाभिधास्यते.
paschadeva vidhasyate. Thereafter Bali Maharaj begot 100 sons in the womb of Asana. Of these 100 sons, King Bana was the eldest. The activities of Bali Maharaj, which are very laudable, will be described later in the 8th canto.
Yeah, that is well-known story only. Bali Maharaj pastime, Samudra Manthan, and all the way up to Vamandev pastime.
Prabhuji, Mahisha mentioned in the previous verse, it is that Mahishasura which we always listen, it is killed by the
I don't know. I don't know. It was mentioned Mahisha.
Yeah, she gave birth. Anullada's wife Surya gave birth to two sons, Bashkala and Mahisha.
Okay, maybe हो सकता है. Prahlada and Prahlada. Simika married. So, but anyway, it will come. Next, I have prepared a slide. इसमें आएगा.
Okay.
So, fine. So Prahlada son Virochana son Bali had 100 sons. Of the 100, Bana was the eldest, and something about Bana. Bana aradya Girisham lebhe
Banaradhya Girisham
lebe tadgana mukyatam
Lebe Tadgana Mukhyatam
yat parshve Bhagavan aste
Yat Parshve Bhagavanaste
hi adhyapi pura palaka.
Hi Adhyabhi Purapalaka.
Since King Bana was a great worshipper of Lord Shiva, he became one of Lord Shiva's most celebrated associates. Even today, Lord Shiva standing by his side protects King Bana's capital. So Bana, when he was born with 1000 arms. So with 1000 arms, he played 500 instruments while Lord Shiva was doing Tandav Nritya. And Lord Shiva was very much happy and he danced like so much. He was so pleased, so pleased, so pleased. He said, ask what do you want, whatever you ask, I'll give you. Then Bana told that, please always protect me and my city. Pragjyotishapura, I suppose. Or Sonitapura. Maybe Sonitapura. So even today, Lord Shiva is guarding that city and protecting Bhanasura. So these are the children and family. Kashyapa married Danu and she produced 61 Danavas. And Kashyapa married Diti, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha and 49 Marus. Hiranyaksha married Rushabhanu and produced some important sons. Hiranyakashipu married Kayadu, one daughter, four sons. Simika married Viprachit, one Rahu, 100 Ketus. Samalada married Kriti, Panchajana. Anulada married Surya, Bhaskala and Mahisha. So maybe this Mahisha may be same Mahishasura, ho sakta hai. I am not sure, but it can be, there is a possibility. Prahlada married Damini, Vatapi and Ilvala. Prahlada married someone, but Virochana was born. And from Virochana, Bali Maharaj, who married Ashana, and they gave birth to Bana and 99 other sons. So this is the lineage of Diti. So now, since Diti produced Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, both were killed by Lord Vishnu by the request of Indra. So Diti became very angry with Indra. So Diti is going to make a vow and produce a children which are going to kill this thing. But before that, something else is mentioned. The same Diti also produced Marut. That is the thing. Marutascha putras
Marutascha dite putrash
चत्वारिंशन्नवादिकान्
chatvarim shannavadikaha
ता आसन् अप्रजा सर्वे
tasan aprajaha sarve
नीता इन्द्रेण सात्मदाम्.
nita indrena satmatam. The 49 Marut demigods were also born from the womb of Diti. None of them had sons. Although they were born of Diti, King Indra gave them a position of demigods.
If you see in the previous list, all the children of Danu and all the children of Diti, except Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj, remaining all were outright demons. Following the same pantha, here, the 49 Marus, also born from the womb of Diti, did not have sons. Although they were born of Diti, King Indra gave them a position of Devatas. How and why? That question will come in the mind of Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj will ask that same question. Sri Rajo Vacha
Srirajovāca
Katam ta asuram bhavam
katham ta asuram bhavam
apohautpattikam guru
apohyapattikam guru
indrena prapita satmyam
indrena prapita satmyam
kim tas sadhu krutam hitai.
kim tat sadhu krutam hitai.
So Parikshit Maharaj is asking that, O Guru, why did Indra convert the persons born with demoniac mentality into devatas? Did they perform any pious sacrifice? Basically, it is expected that Diti's children will be demoniac, daityas. So, how could Indra accepted them and gave them the position of devatas? Is it because they performed some special austerity in their previous lives? It's like our Rudrasura. In his previous life, he was a great devotee, so he became a great devotee even though in spite of being Asura. So is there something like that for these 49 sons of Diti also? That was the question. Then he says that in order to hear the answer, he expresses his eagerness to know more and more. That he says in the next verse. Ima Shraddadate Brahman
Ime Sraddadate Brahman
Rushayo Hi Maya Saha
Rishayo Hi Maya Saha
Parijnanaya Bhagavams
Parijnanaya Bhagavams
Tanno Vyakyatum Arhasi.
Tanno Vyakyatam Arhasi. My dear Brahmana, I and all the sages present with me are eager to know about this. Therefore, O great soul, kindly explain to us the reason.
So not only me, but everyone who sits in this assembly wants to know about this. They are all eager. Thus King Parikshit puts his faith in the sages. They have faith that you will make known to them the secret reason. So normally the Diti's sons are supposed to become the Asuras, but why would they become Devatas? Can you please tell about the reason for this? Not only me, but all the sages sitting in this assembly are interested to know about this fact. So this is the inquiry by Parikshit Maharaj. As an answer to this inquiry, the rest of the chapter will be explained. Who are these Maruts? Why were they born and how they became Devatas, etc. etc. We will discuss in the next class, the rest of the chapter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Any questions?
No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
So if there are no questions, it's
Hare
already
Krishna,
time.
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So Maruts are the controllers of the life acts.
Marus are the controllers of the winds. The life air controller is Vayu.
Ah. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yes. So we'll continue next Saturday. Same online only. I am out of town next Saturday.